time I've been living this music life for a while. Got no money in the bank, but that's okay, 'cause all I really wanna do is play. Yeah, I'm almost famous, I'm almost there. Got a couple of fans and they all love.
Hey guys, Ray Tomasits here, Hill Country Bass Coach. Hey, we're out here on Lake Travis. It's May, it's starting to get hot, and the fish for the most part are done spawning. You might be able to run the bank and see one or two males on the bed, but for the most part, the spawn is done. They're moving out towards their summer holes. You might be able to catch a few on secondary points as they're moving out, but most of the fish are starting to get into that main lake area, and there's a shad spawn going on right now. And early in the evening, always good. You can get some top water action going, swim baits, the crankbait, jerk bait, whatnot. But once that sun gets high, what I like to do is get on those areas that have shade near deep water. Shade and deep water for me are channel swings on the main lake around marinas. And there's really two baits that I always have on my deck. The first is a flutter spoon or a jigging spoon. That's going to be used for going after those active fish where they're actively feeding. I can get on a school, drop it down, they're going to jump on it real quick, and it's a good way to get a quick limit if they're on. I'll know pretty quick if that's not working, because if I feel like I'm around fish and I'm not getting bit, I put that down and I go to the Wacky Rig Cinco. Now, we got zebra mussels in this lake. We just got them a couple years ago, and they're wreaking havoc for anglers out here because they're so sharp that it's like taking braided line scissors to your line. If you get a fish on, they rub up against them. And so last year I was fishing my typical medium action rod, and I like to skip these up underneath those marina slips on a medium action rod, or on a spinning rod. And what was happening was, you got to go lighter line on that setup, and they were pulling me up in there, and I was missing a lot of big fish underneath those marinas. And so this year I've stepped up to a medium heavy action rod, and I've actually had the pleasure of partnering with John Blue with Real Blue Custom Rods. He built this rod for me specifically for this scenario, and this is an awesome rod. This is a medium heavy action, a 7-foot medium heavy action rod. I've got CFX grips on here, CRB rod guides. I've got a Lew's speed spool on here. I've paired it with 30-pound test Sunline SX1 braid, and I'm tying it to a 16-pound test Sunline FC Sniper leader. Heavy hook, 5 or 6 inch Cinco. I can step it down to a 4 if I feel like they're being real finicky. And with this rod, this setup, I can get up underneath those marinas and in that shade, and if I get a bite, I've got a lot higher chance. Super stoked about this rod. It's custom, so he's got my brand on here. He's got Veteran Outdoors, who's another partner of mine, and of course his brand on here. Custom wrap is beautiful, and so I just can't wait to get this thing out here and get some fish on with it. So let's go see if we can put some in the boat.
Little hair of the dog in the morning. Gotta kill this freight train running through my head. Probably die one day without warning. So why the hell would I stop smoking cigarettes? I run my life wide open. Ain't no fun in slowing down.
Yeah. That's what we bought this rod for. Exactly why we bought this rod. Right in the corner of the mouth. Right in the top of the mouth. Man, he choked it. Lake Travis, May. It's hot. Fish are done spawning. As they pull out deep, you could always find fish around these marinas. I bought this rod specifically for what just happened. This is a Real Blue Custom Rods from John Blue. better known business. Lost more big fish last year on these marinas because we got zebra mussels and stuff that can really break you off. And so I needed a medium heavy action rod that could handle a bass like this, and they get bigger for these types of scenarios. And John Blue hooked me up, man. That's why I got the rod right there. Awesome. That's a 3+ pound fish.
Done it this way. Who wants to live forever anyway? Now play a little loud 24 hours a day. And they didn't want me drinking, I was just thinking, what's it 24 beers in a case? I got one boot in the grave, and I know that Jesus saves. So there ain't nothing wrong with living life like a wailing song. Yeah, we all know Hank done it this way. Who wants to live forever anyway?